Okay, in this video we're going to walk through the installation process for our license plate mount version of our Fender Eliminator for the new Honda Grom, so 2017 and newer Honda Grom. Now this version is only for those of you guys running integrated tail lights, so there's no turn signal or license plate light mount accommodations in this version. Do a quick overview of the parts included in the license plate mount version of our Fender Eliminator. So it's going to still be a two-piece design like our standard Fender Eliminator. The trim piece is exactly the same between our kind of standard and our license plate mount. So you still get this really nice trim panel that covers all the gaps and holes that are left when you pull the factory rear fender. So both pieces are CNC laser cut and CNC formed from 1/8 inch thick aluminum plate. Both have UV resistant satin black powder coat, so very nice kind of OEM grade of finish. Should be very durable. These two pieces are going to come together with those two studs coming through two clearance holes in the trim plate. And what's really nice about that is what you see when you install this part on your bike. You see no more fasteners, so that's something only Vagabond Motorsports does, and it makes a big difference. So look for that. The kit comes with a little bag of hardware. You will use in this installation, there's going to be in the bag, there's going to be 4 flange nuts, rubber grommet, and then 2 stainless steel washers. The 4 flange nuts are going to be used obviously on these 4 studs that are pressed into the sheet metal parts. The grommet is going to go in this oval hole only if you're running wiring out. So if you're running license plate lights where you use those kind of bosses on the license plate bolts, you can run some wiring through that. If you're not going to run a license plate light, you don't need that grommet. And then there are the 2 washers in this kit you actually don't need for this installation. They're just a carryover from the traditional Fender Eliminator kit, so you can discard those. And the last bit is this installation's I'm going to rely a little bit on the installation instructions of whatever Fender or integrated tail light you get. So following that, we're not going to cover that in terms of the wiring that gets you there, but actually what you need to pull the factory rear fender and get this on is just a 12mm socket. So you may need some needle nose pliers to kind of disconnect some bullet connectors, but other than that, it's very simple set of tools required. 12mm socket. Now, in the interest of saving time for the license plate mount install, we're going to jump straight to the point where you've already pulled off your factory rear fender, and we're not going to cover the actual installation of your integrated tail light. That's going to involve a little bit more wiring, but at this point we still recommend that you cover your frame spars, those open-ended tubes. You can see they're covered in blue painter's tape here, so that you don't drop mistakenly a bolt or a nut down one of those tubes. So with that, if you need help on that section of pulling the factory rear fender, check out our earlier kind of OEM grade Fender Eliminator installation video. So the install process for the license plate mount version of our Fender Eliminator is really simple. So you're going to start with your trim plate, and it's going to have 2 studs popping up obviously, so kind of loop it underneath the tail section. You can kind of eyeball the studs into place, and you can actually shift it forward a little bit so that those 2 teeth kind of on the front edge of the trim panel engage a little bit in the tail section of the bike. Take your 12mm socket and send those in. At that point the tail section is fully seated. You can see it folds up and fills in those holes, and then actually kicks up at the end and fills in those holes by the tail light. And then the only thing you need to do is take the other 2 flange nuts that come with it and poke the 2 studs of the tail light, or the license plate mount, up through the rear 2 holes. Put a thread or 2 on by hand. Make sure you're not cross-threaded, and then tighten those 2 guys. At which point, all you have to do is install your license plate and you're good to go. So once you get your license plate mounted onto the license plate mount, this installation is complete. Hopefully this quick video kind of gives you guys a good idea of the installation steps required and what it all looks like when it's fully assembled. So you can see the flanges on that trim plate really do kind of seal in a lot of the kind of open spaces you get when you pull that factory or fender. So thank you guys for watching. Our products can be found direct on our website, www.vagabondmotorsports.com, as well as Amazon and eBay. Thank you.